भवानी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Welcome all to this morning session of Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, entitled The Opulence of the Absolute. So today we are going to start 11th shloka. Before that, anybody would like to volunteer? Just to recap, at least last few shlokas. Anybody? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I will try.
Yes, please go ahead.
So what I have understood and made my notes accordingly, I'll tell you, Mataji. Krishna has got unlimited knowledge and we are Anu and he is Vibhu. And demigods are the agents of the Lord and Krishna is the original forefather of the world. So his attributes has to be understood in details for us to develop love in Krishna and fix our mind in his devotion. Then the next few shlokas are the essence of Bhagavad Gita, the Chatur shlokas, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So in 10.8, Krishna is the source of everything, matter and spirit. Whoever knows this will not waste time but engage in devotional service. So whatever we get in this material world is temporary, but whatever we get in spiritual world is permanent. And then the symptoms of a devotee is given. He says, my devotees only think of me, converse about me, glorify me. And pure devotees are like small children who completely depend on the Lord. So when they chant also, they only beg to be engaged in him. They put all their expertise in Krishna's service, whether they're good at singing or deity service or in whichever way. And their mind is not diverted from Krishna. So 24 hours, kirtan, dressing of deities, whatever they are good at. And whoever we love, we only talk and think about that person. Same way, if we love Krishna, we'll only be talking and thinking about Krishna all the time. And so the spiritual planet and then Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam is full of relationship with the Lord, examples of relationship of Lord with Pandavas, the Amrish Maharaj, Kunti Maharani. So they are only interested in love of the Lord. So the realized souls reach the Lord's abode with practiced sadhana and ones who are fully absorbed in Krishna. Then 10.10, ones who are constantly serving Krishna, then he gives them the understanding to understand him. So he instructs Arjuna and gives him the right knowledge. So so Krishna says, work, but work in my consciousness. So there are 3 types of bhaktas. The karma yogis are the one who knows the goal, but addicted to trust of activities in us, in acknowledging in Mataji, I don't know what I've written. Then the second type is the Jnana Yogi, who knows the goal, who knows that the goal is Krishna, but takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna. And so he's a Jnana Yogi. And third is the Buddhi Yogi or the Bhakti Yoga. So those are the people who know the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service. And they are acting always, all actions are attributed to Krishna with Krishna in the center. And it is said that Krishna is eagerly waiting for us to go back to him. So he helps us by giving us that intelligence. So that we are devotees aspire to go to Krishna Lok and not to Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna, Mataji. I'm sorry if I have.
No. Very beautifully explained, Mataji. I don't need to, say anything more than that. You have covered all the points very nicely. Thank you so much. So today's shloka, we'll just go with the today's shloka straight away. Text 11. I think Subbarao Prabhu, I have seen him raising hand. Yes, Subbarao Prabhu, you can just start. You can read the shloka, Prabhu. Subbarao Prabhu.
Tesham evan kampardham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavasto jnanaditena bhakvata. Translation: His divine grace is Swami to show them special mercy. I, dwelling in their heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Purport: when Lord Chaitanya was in Benares promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakashananda Saraswati, a very influential and the land scholar in Benares at the time, derided Lord Chaitanya for being sentimental. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically made sentimentalists. Actually, that is not the fact. There are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literature or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So, the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. The Mayavadi philosophers think that without discriminating, one cannot have pure knowledge. For them, this answer is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education and even without sufficient knowledge of the basic principles, are still helped by the Supreme God as stated in this verse. The Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating of years devoted. If he is not a lover of supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or the supreme role model. Role model. Can you turn this role?
Yeah. It's not seen. I scrolled already, Prabhu.
But this debated, the Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not the lover of the supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or the supreme truth. This is the supreme truth, Krishna please, and by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart, and with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee due to the contamination of mental material association through many, many millions of births. One's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by the chant, by this chant and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about material necessities of life. He need not be anxious because When he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic conditions. Thank you, Mother.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So here, now we understand how Krishna is merciful to destroy the ignorance of the living entities who have devoted to him, who have come forward to him. So here Krishna is saying, Tesham evanu kampartam. So to show mercy upon such devotees, which devotees who are performing Preeti Purvaka bhajan of Krishna, who are constantly doing Preeti Purvaka bhajan of Krishna to such devotees, to show mercy on such devotees, Krishna enters their heart and he will destroy the Ajnana tamam. He is saying Ajnanajam tamaha. Tamaha means darkness and Ajnanajam means ignorance. That is the darkness which is born out of ignorance, which is in our hearts. Our hearts are dark. This tamaha and ajnana are actually often interchangeably used. Tamaha is darkness and ajnana is ignorance. So see, for example, for us, like if we are in a dark room, to destroy the darkness in the room, what we will do? We should lit a lamp, right? When you lit a lamp, then there is a light in the room. The darkness is removed. Similarly, to destroy the ajnana or the ignorance, the darkness of ignorance that we possess in our heart, what we should do to do that? We should lit the lamp of knowledge. That who is doing it? That lighting of lamp of knowledge is done by Krishna. Just like light destroys the darkness, similarly, the knowledge which is given by Krishna, it destroys the ignorance from our heart. Because Krishna is staying in our heart, he will give us buddhi, he will give us knowledge, and he destroys the ignorance in the heart. So by the lamp of knowledge, he does that. Jnana Deepam. He is saying, right? With Jnana Deepena. So with the Jnana Deepam, he is doing all these things. So Krishna gives us knowledge. So we all know this famous shloka, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. So what is it? What does it mean? Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya means you're saying, like, overcome the tama, ignorance, by the light, Jyotirgamaya, with the light. And then Mrityorma Amritangamaya means to overcome that immortality, to mortality, we can become immortal. We can come to that stage. How to overcome this? For these two things, Krishna gives us assistance, right? We can also become mortal to immortal. Immortal being what? Immortal means to become servant of Krishna and go back to his kingdom and eternally reside in the kingdom of the Lord. Krishna will give this, will help us to achieve that by illuminating our heart with the spiritual knowledge and by removing the ignorance. So all this is done by Krishna in the reciprocation of our devotion. How does he reciprocate with his devotees? To the degree we love him, to the degree we love him, to the degree we do devotion service unto him, to the degree of bhakti that we have now, with the devotion, Krishna gives. To that degree, Krishna gives knowledge also, and in one of the Bhagavad Gita shlokas, he also gives along with the devotion. When you develop your devotion, what happens? You get jnanam and vairagyam also. You get renunciation also. Detachment also also comes. So all this comes with a Krishna only, who is giving, automatically it will come when our devotion is increased. So we don't need to separately endeavor for anything. But what is only the thing which we have to endeavor is we have to show our sincere faith in Krishna. Then Krishna will give intelligence, and he will also give that detachment. Even if you are not literate or a scholar, like we know there is a South Indian Brahman. Brahman in Chaitanya Charitamrita story comes where that Brahmana, he was a, his spiritual master just says that, he should read Bhagavad Gita every day. So he just goes and he sits and he does not know, he's an illiterate, but he had a faith in the words of spiritual master. So there are so many scholars there who will sit and read Bhagavad Gita there. They do the Patana of Bhagavad Gita, and they used to make a mockery of this person. And they used to make fun of him that, he does not know anything, but he's just sitting with the Bhagavad Gita and he is reading some shlokas as if he knows. He is illiterate, but he is showing off. Like that, people would make a mockery of him. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came, he actually understood the real devotion in the person of this Brahmana. Why? Because that Brahmana, when he is not even opened the book, but just by seeing the cover page where, like, the Krishna is carrying the Arjuna in the Ratha. Seeing that picture itself, he is he is overwhelmed with devotion, and he was crying profusely. Seeing that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked that, what is that ecstasy that you are feeling, by seeing this Bhagavad Gita? So the Brahmana says that, he talks about the Bhakta Vatsala nature of Krishna, how Krishna is so merciful and he sold out to his devotee that he is even ready to become a chariot driver, and he is ready to take the kicks of the chariot driver for his dear devotee. So that much that understanding he has got, means he is able to understand that Krishna's Bhakta Vatsala nature. Who understands that? Only those who really have devotion and sincere faith in Krishna, they can actually appreciate the Krishna's qualities. Otherwise, we cannot. So many people are there, like Pandavas. Even for Krishna was visible to the Duryodhana, to Karna, and so many people. But can Karna could understand, and Duryodhana could understand, even seeing the Virat Roop of Krishna also, they could not understand the greatness of Krishna. That's how it is. Unless we have a faith, we cannot understand. But once you have a sincere faith, then Krishna will give more intelligence. When you take one step towards Krishna, Krishna will take 100 steps towards us. So how Krishna gives us knowledge? So this is in two ways. One is in the form of Guru. He gives the knowledge in the form of Guru, and in the second way, as a Chaitya Guru, as a Supreme Lord in the heart. He himself gives the jnana. Otherwise, externally, through a spiritual master, he gives us the spiritual knowledge. So, but that knowledge is revealed. Whatever knowledge that Krishna is revealed, it's a revelation. It's not anything mundane thing that by our own scholarship we can understand it. No, spiritual knowledge is not gained by research. It is obtained by revelation. That's why devotion is termed as dynamic. Why? How much we develop the devotion towards the Lord, to that degree, there is a reciprocation. So to approach to the Lord also sees two things. Like, for example, you have a friend. All of us have different kinds of friends, right? Some friends we may meet once in a year, and when we meet once in a year, some place or in some party or somewhere, when we meet, there is not much conversation, right? Person A meets person B once in a year. There is not much conversation. You won't reveal so much. You'll just say, "How are you? Everything is fine," like that. But if you have a friend whom you regularly meet, or if you maintain a regular interaction with that person, then so much of communication happens. The more things are revealed between each other, right? That frequency of interaction is the main element in a friendship, right? So in our, not only that, not only the frequency of interaction, but the intent of the purity of intention is also important. If if we are meeting every day, but the other person is not, whatever you go and reveal to that person, that person either demotivates you, or maybe he will go and speak with other people, and he will not keep anything confidential in himself. So will you be able to reveal anything to that person? No, right? So you only go and reveal to a person whose intentions are pure at heart, right? Otherwise we won't reveal our heart. So similarly, Krishna is also a person. Bhagavatam is also a person. The book Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita is also a person. When we approach this person, we should have two things. One is frequency. We should have frequent interactions with them, and also we should have purity of intention. So that's why we should regularly read Srimad Bhagavatam. Regularly we should read Bhagavad Gita, and regularly we should worship Krishna. It's not that, okay, today I read and after 1 year I'll come back and I'll read. So if you read after 1 year, you will not get anything. But regularly if you read, see, first time if you have read now, after this sessions, Bhagavad Gita sessions are over, again when you are reading, and then again you will get new revelations. Krishna will give new revelation. After 10 times also, you have finished 10 times reading the same book, but again you come back and you read the same book, again you will get new revelations. Krishna will give, keep on revealing a lot of gems and pearls and so many things, whatever is there, all Vaidura that is there in the book, that spiritual knowledge, everything he makes it revealed to our heart. As and when we approach the book with devotion. So it is important that, it's not that, one day we will worship Krishna and, and after 2 days, after 3 days, I'll worship Krishna. Today I will chant, and okay, I'll give a break of 10 days and then again I go back and then chant one round. No, it should not be like that. It should be regularly done. This is one regular or frequent interactions is must to develop relationship with Krishna. Then only Krishna will also reciprocate with us, and Krishna will also give the knowledge accordingly to us. So how much ever we approach Krishna, that much we will get in proportion. We will get it is direct proportion. How much ever you approach, in that proportion, Krishna will also reveal to us this knowledge. And also the purity of intent is required. When we are reading, sometimes people will read Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita just to gain popularity by being a pandit. Or, there are people, thesis, they will write thesis on, even Jiva Goswamis, our own Sampradaya Acharya's books, they take and they quote very nicely. But what is by reading all that, they don't have devotion towards the Lord. They are very good in speech. They go and give seminars. They go and tell this is. But for themselves, if you go and see what are they practicing, they don't have faith in Krishna. Then that is only just a show off, right? It's only to gain popularity by being their by showing of their scholarship. There could be hundreds of motivations that people come even to worshipping Krishna. People come with hundreds of motivation. Some people may come just to fulfill their material desire. Then if it is like that, then Krishna will not reveal so much. Okay, you want this from me? Okay, I will give only that. Whatever you are asking for. Even if Gita won't reveal the intricacies of the bhakti unless and until we approach with a pure intention. So Krishna is saying, I am willing to reveal myself to you, but that revelation happens depending on the intention of our approach and our frequency. Savai pumsham paro dharma yato vaktir adokshaje ahetuki apratihata. So this shloka says, in Bhagavatam comes this shloka in the first canto. This Bhagavatam shloka says that we should not have any material motives, and there should be consistency consistency in the performance of bhakti. So consciousness is very important. Okay. And then by performing bhakti like this, individually and collectively, we will become spiritual intelligent. That's what Prabhupada says. We should, even one of the Bhagavatam shloka says that, we should allow Srimad Bhagavatam, Karna Randrena, when you hear the Harikatha, through the sound vibration, and when it enters into the ear holes of a sadhaka, that then what happens? You should allow Krishna to enter in the form of sound vibration through your ear holes, so that Krishna will enter into the heart through the ear holes, and he starts purifying our heart. So that's how we should understand, how we can approach Krishna. So there are so many ways, so many means of devotional service. 9 processes of devotional service is there. So we should hear attentively, so that Krishna will enter into our heart. And when we are hearing attentively, Krishna, he himself will clean up our heart. Krishna is doing so much for us. We don't need to do any kind of endeavor. He's doing so much for us. So we should have a lot of gratitude to Krishna. So in this shloka, Krishna is actually revealing, his merciful nature to destroy the ignorance that we are carrying in our hearts. Okay, so we'll go to the next shloka. Okay, who will read? Who will read? Yeah. Sudha Mataji, one shloka you can read. And Tilo's iPhone, you can read one shloka.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
Yes,
Arjuna Uvacha Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. Ahustvam Rushayaha Sarve Devarshi Nadadastata Asito Devalo Vyasaha Swayam Chaiva Bravishime.
Yeah, you can read translation also.
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the Supreme Abode and Purifier, the Absolute Truth and the Eternal Divine Person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa proclaim this of you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. Purport. In these 2 verses,
It's okay. It's a long purport. It's okay. I'll just summarize it.
yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So here we see in these 2 shlokas, so far Krishna spoke. Krishna spoke about his greatness, his qualities, everything. So after hearing all this, now Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. Now Arjuna is saying, I've heard so much about you in 7th chapter, 8th chapter, 9th chapter, 10th chapter also. And now he is going to start sharing his realizations after hearing Krishna's greatness. So here, now he is telling, Arjuna is talking the realizations. What is he saying? He is saying, Param Brahma, Param Dhama. He is saying, you are the Param Brahma. You are the Supreme Lord, and Param Dhama. Dhama means Dham. He is an abode. You are an ultimate abode. Param Dhama. And Pavitram. You are the purest. Paramam Bhavan. And you are the absolute truth. And Purusham. You are a person. Shashvatam, eternal. So what kind of person? You are an eternal personality. And Divyam, you are transcendental, you are, what do they call it? Like, yeah, he says like Divyam, transcendental, and then Adi Devam, you are the original person, Ajam. Ajam means the unborn, and Vibhum means you are the greatest person. So like this, after hearing about Krishna or from all these chapters, now Arjuna is sharing his realization. He is talking about Krishna's supremacy here. He is telling that, oh Lord, you are the Supreme Lord, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal personality. You are transcendental, original person, unborn, and the greatest personality. So here, this Param Brahma. Param Brahma means like sometimes like Mayavadi philosophy first are there, like Prabhupada starts about saying that this two shlokas, this 12th and 13th shlokas are actually defends the Mayavadi philosophy. So living entity is also called Brahman, right? Like we are also called Brahman. So what Mayavadi philosophers say, they say that you are Brahman, I am Brahman, everyone is Brahman. So God is also like the Brahman. So God is Brahman, but God is not a normal Brahman. He is a Param Brahman. He is supremely Brahman. Some people have some kind of illusion that everyone is God, but we cannot be God. We are also Brahman, Krishna is also Brahman. So, but can we be equated to the Krishna? No, right? We are only godly. We are spiritual in nature, but Krishna is, beyond that. And then he says, Ahustvam Rishaya Sarve. So now Arjuna also says, not only that, the Krishna's supremacy is confirmed even by the authorities. Who are those authorities? Who are they? He says all the great sages confirm this truth about you. And who are those sages? He tells that Devarishis, Narada, Narada is called Devarishi Narada, and Tatha means such as Devarishi Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa. All these people have already to confirm this truth that you are so greatest personality. But now you yourself is also telling Swayam Chaiva Bravishi Me. So he is telling that Arjuna is saying now you yourself is also declaring it to me that you are the ultimate, you are the supreme personality of Godhead. So here Prabhupada mentions that now all sages are saying Krishna is Supreme Lord. Arjuna is also saying Krishna is Supreme Lord. And Krishna himself is saying Krishna is Supreme Lord. Then what is the problem in accepting Krishna as a Supreme Lord? There are people. So Prabhupada mentions that it is very clear that from these two verses, first thing is it is very clear that Supreme is different from the individual person. That which I have already discussed, Param Brahma, Brahman and Param Brahman. And then it is not that because Krishna is Arjuna's intimate friend, Arjuna is flattering him by calling Supreme Personality of Godhead. Absolute truth. So Arjuna is also quoting the authorities to tell that it's not only me, it's even the sages. So many sages also say that you are the Supreme Lord, and even you yourself is declaring that you are the Supreme Lord. Then Prabhupada mentions that one who understands that Krishna is the purest of the pure can become purified from all sinful activities. Like he gives an example that when we become dirty, if we are muddy, we fall in a mud or something like that, when we become dirty, then how can we clean ourselves? We have to go and stand under the clean water, right? So we have to take a shower under the clean water. So the clean water will remove all the dirt which is accumulated on our body, right? So similarly, we have so many material impurities in our heart. So if we have material impurities, where should we come in contact with? With a person who can purify us fully. So that kind of person is who? Krishna. Krishna is a person who purify us, and we will become purified by coming in contact with Krishna. So we should always approach Krishna, and then when we approach Krishna, who is the purest of the pure, we also become purified from all our material impurities and sinful activities. So once we all know the story that Bhrigu once goes to find who is the Supreme, who is the Supreme Lord, Supreme among the Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. So first Bhrigu Muni goes to Lord Brahma And then there he goes, but he does not offer dandavats. Then Brahma will become angry. And then he understands that, oh, okay, so he is not a Supreme Lord, because Supreme Lord should not get angry, right? So he got angry. So he understood that Brahma is not the Supreme Lord. Then he goes to the Shiva, and there, after going to Shiva, then he offends with words. He says that, oh, you are always wearing ashes on your body, and with this damuru and snake, and you always do some dances, this thing, that thing, and so many things like that. So then Shiva also gets offended. He also becomes offended to Bhrigumuni. So then Bhrigumuni understands that, okay, Shiva is also not Supreme Lord. Then he goes to Vishnu. And he goes to Vishnu and he kicks him in the chest of Vishnu. Then what does the Vishnu do? Vishnu immediately exhibits his humility. He comes to Bhrigomuni's, he touches the Bhrigomuni's feet and he says, oh, my heart is so hard. Maybe by your kick, your feet is soft like a lotus flower, and it's so soft that it would have got hurt. Then Bhrigumuni understands that Vishnu is Supreme Lord. So we should understand that Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Murti. Now Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here, in the shloka it says, Arjuna is saying, right? So Prabhupada also mentions that various Vedic injunctions explain how Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Murti and he is a Purna Purushottam. In Goloka, he interacts with his devotees in 5 rasas. Can anyone tell what are those 5 rasas? Any volunteers?
Madhurya Rasa, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya,
Vatsalya, and
Yeah,
Madhurya.
Yeah, correct. So, but when Krishna comes in Vaikuntha, all his rasas decrease by 50%. There is no Vatsalya ras there. We never hear Vishnu having a Vatsalya ras. And only Dasya and Shanta is prevailing. But Madhurya ras is divided into 2 kinds. One is Swakiya and Parakiya. So Swakiya is like as a wedded love. So he enjoys with by wedding with Rukmini Devi or Lakshmi Devi in the Vaikuntha planets. But Parakiya ras is only meant for the gopis in Vrindavan. Okay, as a lover with gopis in Vrindavan. So the injunctions, Vedic injunctions say that all the other incarnations, are the which we know, like Narasimha, Vamana, Buddha, Kaliki, whatever, many other multiple forms of incarnations, whatever are available, they are all different multiple forms of same God Krishna. So Krishna is Supreme Lord. Okay. So this is what Arjuna, is trying to declare, that, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now he is sharing his realization. He continues to do so in the next shloka as well, next few shlokas. Okay, who will read this shloka?
Shall I, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
सर्वमेतद्रतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव नहि ते भगवान् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवानदानवाः. Translation by Prabhupada ki Jai. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons or, O Lord, can understand your personality. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Arjuna herein confirms that persons of faithless and demonic nature cannot understand Krishna. He is not known even by the demigods. So what to speak of the so-called scholars of this modern world? By the grace of the Supreme Lord, Arjuna has understood that the supreme truth is Krishna and that he is the perfect one. One should therefore follow the path of Arjuna. He received the authority of Bhagavad Gita. As described in the 4th chapter, the Parampara system of disciplic succession for the understanding of Bhagavad Gita was lost, and therefore Krishna re-established that disciplic succession with Arjuna because he considered Arjuna his intimate friend and a great devotee. Therefore, as stated in our introduction to Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita should be understood in the Parampara system. When the Parampara system was lost, Arjuna was selected to rejuvenate it. The acceptance by Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. Then we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and then only when we understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. So here in this shloka, Arjuna is saying that whatever so far you have told, everything I'm accepting as truth. Oh Krishna, whatever you are telling, everything I'm accepting as truth. He's continuing to share his realization. So, he's saying that, whatever so far you have been sharing, everything I believe and I accept it as a truth. And I also understand that demigods, neither the demigods nor the demons can understand your personality. This, how many times Krishna had spoken, like he told, right? Anybody wants to tell, like in this chapter itself, Krishna also says, no one can understand me. Right?
10.2, Mataji.
Yeah. So he says no one knows. So he says that, no one knows. I'm the source of demigods and the sages. So no one knows. So like that, Krishna is telling no one can understand. So that is also he's believing that, even the great demigods, they come from Krishna. But still, they don't know about Krishna. Krishna's nature. That's what Arjuna is saying. I understand what you are saying. So now Prabhupada mentions that, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, Arjuna has understood the supreme truth is Krishna, and he is perfect one. What happened for him? He is directly understood with the knowledge given by Krishna, right? Similarly, we can also understand only when we follow this parampara system. So earlier it was lost, but Krishna re-established that disciplic succession with Arjuna. So similarly, we should also, accept the whatever Krishna and Arjuna is saying in this book, and we can understand we should understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, so that we can understand Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what Prabhupada says. Okay, so Arjuna continues to share his realizations further, so that you can hear in the next.
Krishna, Mataji, I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes.
Mataji, these demigods are the posts given by the Lord, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and these posts are given by the Lord only to those living entities who have risen to that level after devotional service to the Lord. And it is said, then still it is said that, like Arjuna understands Krishna, but these demigods cannot understand Krishna. So are the demigods lesser devotees than Arjuna?
Yeah, actually, usually demigods are mixed devotees. Demigods are not pure devotees of the Lord. They are actually mixed devotees. Like we have examples, like even the Brahma, who got the knowledge of Om, when he did the tapa and he got the whole knowledge of what Krishna is, Vedic injections, everything has been emanated. I mean, he's been imparted in the heart of Brahma by Supreme Lord. The first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam says that. But what happened? Brahma got bewildered. When Krishna is eating, food from the mouth of other cowherd boys, he could not ascertain that Krishna is really Supreme Lord. He was thinking, how can Supreme Lord can eat juta? So he could not understand the Lord, Supreme Lord. So that's why the Brahma Vimohan Leela happened, right? So after that, he could able to, after that, like he will understand that, okay, he made a mistake. He could not understand who Krishna was really. Similarly, even same with Indra also. What did Indra do? He had sent the rains. When Krishna told not to worship Indra, instead of worshipping Indra, the rain god, he told Vrajavasis to worship the Govardhan hill, because it was giving everything. It was providing everything for the Vrajavasis. But what happened? He started pouring rains, right? He got angry on Krishna. But later on, he understood that he made a mistake and he fell at the feet of Krishna and begged for forgiveness. If they were pure devotees, they'll not make this mistake. They are greater people than us. I mean, that is for sure. their level of consciousness is much more better than us, but they also have a mixed devotion. They are not pure devotees. And you got it, Mataji?
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have one more doubt, Mataji.
Yes.
So
ma'am.
actually, the whole thing has been come from Brahma only, no, Mataji, for our parampara system.
Which
Brahma
parampara
Gaudi.
you're talking? Okay, Brahma
um,
Gaudiya Vaishnava. Okay.
Yes, Mataji. So he has got all the knowledge of the Vedas and everything. So from him only we are getting the knowledge. So how come he didn't have the knowledge, Mataji, about the Krishna, Lord
Who
Krishna?
did not have the knowledge about Krishna?
Brahma.
Brahma had, but in that kalpa, it is about one kalpa, and then again he had taken a rebirth, right? See, Mataji, that mistakes happens, but then they will make one mistake, and then it does not mean that we have to demean them. If they have misunderstood Krishna sometimes, then it's not that. See, for us also, I'll tell you, like I mean, my own example. Like when some calamity comes, sometimes if it is very intense calamity, even though I'm practicing Krishna consciousness for a very long time, sometimes I doubt whether really Krishna is there. Why is he testing so much? Actually, pure devotee is one. Even if Krishna gives any calamity that comes, they consider as a blessing. It's just my own karma, so it is coming. They don't question Krishna. But we are not at that stage, though we are practicing, right? So even the whole Vedic knowledge is there with Brahma. Sometimes they make mistake, but that does not mean that they cannot become an acharya.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Anybody else has any other questions, comments? Okay, if nothing is there, so we will end the session over here. Thank you so much.
Mataji, can I ask a question different from the topic, Mataji?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Brahma only knows about, there are so many Brahmas. So the Brahma of our universe only knows about this universe. But because Brahma is a position, Mataji. But whereas about Narada Mahamuni, he is not the position, he's a person. So does he
But
know
Mataji,
about
it is
all
also
the
said,
Brahma?
1 minute, Mataji. It is also said that Brahma, who is currently right now, who is there, Brahma, that Brahma is a pure devotee of the Lord. Okay?
Okay. Yes, Mataji.
Is a pure devotee of the Lord. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. No, I was asking about Narada Muni, Mataji. So when Brahma went to Vishnu, so he just told that to inform Lord that Brahma has come. So he doesn't know about all other Brahmas. But whereas Narada Muni, he's a person, Mataji, and he can travel anywhere. So does he know about all the universes and all the Brahmas, Mataji?
Actually, there is a, in Bhagavatam, it comes where Brahma, like Narada Muni questions Brahma, how did you get this knowledge? And who had taught you? So even in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, there is a section where elaborate discussion is there between Brahma and Narada, where Brahma reveals the truth that you are thinking that I am the supreme. I am the supreme Lord. No, I am not the supreme Lord. There is Krishna. So he reveals that knowledge to Narada Muni. That's how Narada Muni comes to know about it.
Yes, Mataji. So he knows all the Brahmas, Mataji. So can he travel to different universes?
I don't know that much, Mataji, about it. Okay. Whether he is traveling only in this universe or other Brahmandas, I am not sure. This Brahmanda, though, I am sure, but I don't know about other Brahmandas.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Namat pranam.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, Padma Mataji, you have some question?
No, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. If no other questions, then thank you so much for your participation. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Shri Bhagavad ki jai. Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank
Dandavat
you,
pranam.
Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandat pranam. Thank you,
Thank you so
Mataji.
much. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Mataji.
Dandavat pranam, Mataji.
Yeah,
Hare
thanks a lot.
Krishna. Jai Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Mataji. Thank you.
Dandavats.
Dandavat pranam, Mataji. Thank you.